Modern life is loud, not just with sound, but with a constant sense of urgency. Notifications, deadlines, expectations, a relentless pressure to move faster, think harder, and achieve more. For most of us, there wasn't a single breaking point. One day, you just realize you're tired, then you're anxious, and soon, you're completely overwhelmed by things that, honestly, shouldn't matter this much. We call it stress, as if it's just a normal side effect of being alive. But what if stress isn't the problem? What if stress is just the symptom of living out of alignment? Long before productivity apps, before therapy buzzwords, before we even thought about work-life balance, there were entire cultures built around one simple question: am I living in harmony? For the Navajo, that sense of harmony is called Hózhó. This isn't just about happiness or success or even calm. It's something much deeper, a way of living where life itself flows correctly. Today, we're going to explore what Hózhó truly means and how this ancient desert philosophy might just be the medicine our modern world is missing. So, what is Hózhó really? It doesn't translate cleanly into English, and that alone tells us something important. We often describe it with words like harmony, balance, beauty, or order. But none of those words, on their own, are enough. Hózhó is a state of total alignment between your thoughts, your actions, your body, your community, the natural world, and the universe itself. To live in Hózhó means your words are truthful, your behavior is respectful, your mind is steady, and your relationships are intact. It means your place in nature is honored. In this worldview, stress, anxiety, and even illness were traditionally seen as signs that Hózhó had been disturbed. It wasn't a punishment or a personal weakness. It was simply a misalignment. And the goal of life wasn't about achievement. It was about restoration. Hózhó isn't some new self-help concept. It's ancient. The Navajo people, who call themselves the Dine, meaning the people, have passed this wisdom down through oral tradition for centuries. Their entire worldview comes from sacred origin stories, which teach lessons about balance, consequences, and harmony. In these stories, the universe was created in stages. The holy people, who are powerful spiritual beings, establish the natural order of things, the movement of the sun, the cycles of the seasons, the patterns of animals, and the rhythms of human life. Everything had its rightful place. When humans acted out of balance through arrogance, greed, or disrespect for nature, chaos followed. Illness, conflict, disaster. The lesson was crystal clear. Life works when you live correctly within its natural flow. Now, let's look at how our modern society treats stress. We see it as an individual failure. You didn't meditate enough, you didn't manage your time properly, you failed to optimize your routine. But Hózhó offers a completely different perspective. Stress isn't something that's just inside you. It's the friction created between you and the way life is meant to move. Think about our modern lives. We ignore natural sleep cycles and work against daylight. We eat food that's disconnected from the seasons. We're taught to compete instead of cooperate, and we often find ourselves isolated instead of feeling like we belong. From a Hózhó perspective, this isn't normal life. It's a state of sustained imbalance. And so the body reacts the only way it can, with tension, anxiety, and exhaustion. It's not because you are broken. It's because something in your world is out of alignment. When Hózhó was disturbed, the Dine didn't just try to suppress the symptoms. They focused on restoring harmony. This was done through powerful ceremonies, often called chants or sings. These rituals could last for hours, days, or even weeks. They involved spoken prayers, intricate sand paintings, songs, storytelling, and the active participation of the entire community. Each ceremony was specifically tailored to the particular imbalance, because not every sickness comes from the same source. The goal wasn't just to fix a person, the goal was to return them to a right relationship with themselves, with others, with the land, and with the unseen forces of life. Healing wasn't a private struggle. It was a communal act of restoration. So, how did modern life lose this sense of Hózhó? Our culture prizes control. We try to plan everything, schedule everything, and optimize everything. But control is not harmony. Hózhó teaches something that can feel uncomfortable to our modern minds. You are not meant to dominate life. You are meant to move with it. Stress explodes when we constantly override our natural limits, when we treat rest as laziness, when we value output more than balance, and when we disconnect from the land and our own ancestry. The Dain understood something that modern neuroscience is only now rediscovering. The human nervous system calms down when life feels meaningful and ordered, and meaning doesn't come from speed, it comes from alignment. So, how can we practice Hózhó in our fast-paced modern world? You don't need elaborate ceremonies to begin. Hózhó starts with a simple shift in awareness. Start asking different questions. Instead of, how can I be more productive? Ask, where am I out of balance? In daily life, this could look like respecting your need for sleep instead of trying to hack it. It could mean choosing fewer commitments, but doing them well. It could mean actively restoring community connections instead of accepting isolation, or simply spending time in nature without a specific goal. Hózhó isn't passive. It's an intentional, daily practice of alignment to refusal to live constantly at war with your own nature and the world around you. There's a beautiful Navajo saying, "In beauty may I walk," not after you achieve success, not after you finally get some rest, not someday now. Stress tells you that something is wrong with you. Hózhó whispers something much older and wiser. Something is simply out of alignment, and alignment can always be restored, not by doing more, but by living correctly, in beauty, in balance, in harmony. Thanks for watching. If this idea resonated with you, consider subscribing for more insights into a more balanced way of living.